This year's been really beneficial. We have a really good group of guys, so coming into work every day is exciting. It's fun. The guys put in a shift, they work hard, they do things the right way, so it makes it really, really easy. For me personally, things are in a really good place. Very happy, and so if you're happy off the field, you're able to be happy on the field, and at the same time you're able to help all the new guys kind of integrate in a real way, because I feel really present every day at training, every meal, every conversation that I have with different guys, whether it's during a session, after, before, and whether it's with the front office. It's a cool place to be when you're able to be present every day. We're all brought here together to be a small piece of something excellent, which is what we all want. We want this club to succeed. We all want to play a role and be a part of it. I try to be a guy who first and foremost leads by example. I don't think that you can rub off on others in a positive way if you're not the first guy who's willing to put in a shift, who's willing to train hard, who's willing to speak up when times are tough, have honest, hard conversations, hold each other accountable. Those are buzzwords that a lot of different organizations use, but to put those words into actions is difficult. It's 100% leading by example. That's how things get done. You can't just be a guy who talks. People see through that. The guys are too smart, fans are too smart. It's actions, that's what matters. At this point in my career, I play quite a lot with my mind. I watch a lot of soccer. I've been in this league a long time, so I know a lot of the players and who I'll be going up against. So I'm able to try to see certain things and execute the game plan from different positions. It doesn't necessarily always come off the way that we like, but I'm a guy that's versatile. I can move around the field, and I'm able to think through things and recognize things as they happen in the game and make adjustments accordingly to make sure that we give ourselves the best chance to win. And I think a lot of it then goes back to being a good teammate, being a good team. Being together and understanding when a guy's maybe not quite as sharp as he needs to be, doesn't have as much energy. Can I slide over? Can I cover? Can I press a little bit more? Can I see things quicker to help everybody out? And so that's why I end up around the field in a few different spots. So it's balancing that experience and playing with the mind a little bit. I think for me, the big aspect that sets me apart is understanding that I have a unique ability mentally to be able to push through that pain and that suffering in those last 10 minutes of games, where I can see that my opponent is worn down and just continue to grind, continue to believe and fight. And I think that kind of is in our team spirit, in our DNA. We're really a really good second half team for the majority of games, because we believe in each other and we know that we can push through a lot of different things, and especially the climate that we play in here, it makes it so that teams are dehydrated, they're suffering. I think the number one thing that I always think about is you're almost a little bit dizzy at times when you're running back and forth and it's just been such a grind. You can't take on enough fluids to stop that physical and mental fatigue. So you got to embrace it and understand that sometimes to get what you want, you got to suffer a little bit. I believe this is a team sport. As the rise of social media and superstars in the DP League has happened in this league, the idea publicly of team has gone away a little bit. I think internally it's still there, and so I kind of like it that way. I kind of like to be flying under the radar. I think I have the respect of the coaching staff, of my teammates. They understand the role that I can play, and ultimately you can only have a couple of guys who can actually play the piano, and then there's some famous quotes about the guys who have to carry it around, and I'm obviously one of those guys. I love being a role player. I love watching my teammates succeed. I think the fans are knowledgeable. Many of them understand that in a real way. It's about the club, it's about the team, and how many points we can get together, because there's certain players in this club who never step on the field, who provide a real value to training. They push, they are on the practice team, the squad team, the scout team, whatever you want to call it, who never even get on a radar of any fan, and that's something that maybe is undervalued and underappreciated. But I go back to our culture in our locker room, and if we all buy into this team dynamic and this culture, we'll win, and people will see that we're winners, and they'll respect that. I think there's been some negativity, some scars over the year, changing coaches, obviously not having the success as quickly as the city would like, as we all would like. And so you've got to learn to deal with that pressure and understand that when you lose games, people are not going to be impressed. They're not going to be happy. They pay good money to come watch their hometown team play good soccer, and they want good value for that. And I appreciate and understand and respect that. So our guys have done a better job of understanding that criticism is not a bad thing. It actually pushes us to a place of being a little bit uncomfortable and able to perform better and understand just how much this club matters to how many different people. So that's the part of the culture that we've all bought back into, and understand that no one's bigger than the team. We're going to attract really, really big players, and they can buy in to the culture, but that never changes. Next man up is a big thing that we've talked about. There'll be rotations when you have 3 games in a week. The season's now been condensed. The best teams in this league are the ones that manage that the best, from your best player to your practice squad guys. If everybody's treated equally and on the same page in a real way, you can go really far. So that's the culture piece that we've really tried to get back to, that we lost over the past few years. How do we do this better? How do we continue to make improvements? Obviously, we should have more points than we have right now. I think we continue to believe in each other, continue to understand that it's not a linear progression that just goes up at the same speed. There's ups and downs. This is a game, this is a sport that we obviously have a lot of pressure to perform and win in, but it's a wonderful privilege to be able to play for a club in a city like this. So when things get bad, find a way to get out of it. That's my final message.